Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at creating this model here using Solidworks. Now the model is going to be super simple, but we will be incorporating doing some kind of drafting here in Solidworks, and it's going to be some basic drafting. And in this video here, what I'm going to also do is we're going to take a look at the units. I know I made another video where I did some drafting here in Solidworks and I didn't really format the dimensions. But in this one, I'm going to go a little bit more advanced and kind of start formatting some more of the things in it. So let's go ahead and jump over to Solidworks and get started. Okay, so here in Solidworks, we're going to start off by selecting the new icon here at the top, and then I will create a part. Now remember that when you're using Solidworks or Inventor, we have to have two separate files. We're going to have one that's going to create the part, and then the drawing is what's going to be used to call out the part. This is different from AutoCAD. Remember, AutoCAD is typically one file, although you can do it in two. And so if you watch any of the AutoCAD videos where I do 3D modeling, I'll typically draw it in one, but I do have a reference where I can go and pull it in from Inventor or even Solidworks if we save it as a different format. But here, we're going to start off with the Extrude command. So I'll go ahead and select here, and then it should ask me what plane, and I'll be selecting the top plane. Next, I'm just going to use a rectangle, and I will use the center rectangle. We're going to start off by selecting here the origin. I'll just go this way and kind of create my shape going out this direction. All right, let's go ahead and put some dimensions onto this. So I'll go with the smart dimension. I'll do this line here. And once I place it, this should have an overall length of 80. And then I'll go ahead and put a dimension on this line here. And this one should have an overall dimension of 50. Now I have to decide, do I want to put that circle in here or not? We can use the whole command, but in this video, I'm not really, caring about really the formalities or how I want to do the drafting portion of this. So I'll just go ahead and put the circles and the fillets onto this. But usually, anytime I create the models, I usually like to create them as features more than part of my sketch. But this is an option that you can use. So I can go ahead and create that circle and go ahead and place it here. Let's go ahead and put some dimensions on it. So I'll do a dimension from this back line to the center of my circle. And then I'll give it a distance of 55. Okay, now I have to make sure I got one more thing with this center. So I'll select the center here, hold down the shift button, select my origin, and then I'm just going to make sure that they stay horizontal. Okay. So you can see almost everything that I need is going to be fully defined. Let's go ahead and give that circle a diameter. And we'll go ahead and click here, and that diameter is set to 24. All right, so far everything that I'm drawing is fully defined here. Let's go ahead and put the fillet on here as well. So I'm just going to knock out and try to do this in as many steps or as least amount of steps as I possibly can. This has a radius of 15, so that's where I'm changing it here. Now I can select this corner here, and then this corner, and go ahead and hit the check mark. And then I have all of this now sketched out. Okay, this should be done. Let's go ahead and hit the OK button here. It should jump back to the Extrude command. And then the Extrude command is trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Oh, I can tell it exit sketch. There we go. So once I hit the exit sketch, the Extrude command is basically figuring out, hey, what does he want to extrude? And you can see now it kind of figured out exactly what I wanted. Now this one I will send going down one direction. So I will turn this back to a blind direction. Remember that we could flip which way we want it to go. So I will send this one down. And the depth of this, or the height, is going to be 10. Let's go ahead and hit the OK button. And it should create that bottom portion that we need. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a sketch on this top face. And then I'll go ahead and create a sketch on it. So I'll select that icon here. And now every now and then I like to try some things. We do have some offset entities here. I can go ahead and set that number to 10. I can select this line here, and you see that it's going the wrong direction here. So I'm just going to select the reverse. Select that line there, and then this one here. I don't think it selected my top one as an offset. Let's go back to the offset. Go ahead and reverse that. Okay. I'll go ahead and create a line going straight across here. Now, I wanted that all to be 1, but we'll go ahead and fillet this and make it right here in a second. Let's go ahead and put a line going straight across. Like so. Let's see if we can trim off some of this stuff. So we're going to do some trimming. And here at the top, you can see that it won't trim off this portion because these lines are actually not here. So what I'm going to do next is I'll go to Convert Entities. I'm just going to select a few lines here. And go ahead and put a check mark there. Now I should be able to trim off these parts. And we have the part that's right on the inside here. Okay. So now you can see that SolidWorks has kind of figured out what I'm trying to create here. Go ahead and add another dimension going from here to back here. This is going to have a distance of 40. And now if I look down here, you can see that everything is fully defined. So from this point, I'll go ahead and exit the sketch. Let's kind of rotate this up. We'll go ahead and use the extrude option again. Now SolidWorks should be able to figure that out for us. We're going to give it a height of 25. And then we're just going to go ahead and tell it, yes, that's what we want. So I'll hit the check mark to accept it, and it should merge this all together. And as you can see now, our part is done. It's, very simple part that we constructed here. Right, now we're ready to do the drafting portion, but it's always a good idea to go ahead and save your object first. So make sure you save it. Now, if I was doing this for some kind of production drawing or something of that nature, I would typically save this as the part number. Or you can save it as the part name. You just have to do some kind of creative stuff when it comes to bill of materials. But as far as what we needed to do, this should be fine. And I'm just going to save this as example 2. All right, so I'll go ahead and hit the save icon here. And then I would just tell it to save as example 2. So I'm just going to change the name to example 2. And I'll hit the save button here. And now we're ready to jump to the drafting portion, right? So we're going to start off by selecting the new button here at the top. I'll go to the drawing. Go ahead and hit OK. Give it a second. It should tell me what template. We're going to use a B-size landscape template. Go ahead and hit the OK button. And now we're going to use example number 2 since that's the one that we have open. Remember, you don't have to use this one. You can automatically browse and go wherever you want it to go. But since I'm going to use this one, I'll just do a double click on it. It should change it over to the model view. And then I get to select what view I want to bring in. So depending on how you created this, if I select the front view and I move my cursor here into the screen, it should give me that front view. So I'll do a left click here. And you see that that is the part that I have. Let's go ahead and escape out of here. But right now it's asking for a projected view. Well, I guess since I'm doing this, let's go ahead and make all of our views and then I'll show you what I was going to do here in a second. So I'll project and do that view. Come over this direction. And I'll create the right side view. And then up here in the corner, I will make an isometric. And you see that it will tie that isometric at the top. Okay, once you're done with everything, go ahead and hit the check button here to OK it. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I will go ahead and move this over. All right, while it's highlighted here, I'll go ahead and tell it that, go ahead and make that one shaded. Let's accept that one. this is the main view, so I'll go ahead and select this view first. And now if I want to put the hidden lines in it, I'll select here. And you can see that the hidden lines do come available to me. Okay. Okay, so from here, we'll just hit the check. And now we have our drawing created. We do have our hidden lines on the inside of this. And you can see I got some other lines here as well. I do have these, I'm trying to remember what they're called, but they're kind of like the edge and things of that nature of what you're seeing there. Okay, so with these tangent lines here, we can turn those off. And those as simple as, let's see, if I select multiple views here, and I'm going to try to see if I can do these all at once. If I do a right click and then I go to tangent edge and I tell them to remove them, you're going to see those tangent lines should remove. I don't think it removed it on this one here. Let's go ahead and select this view, do a right click on it, go find the tangents, okay, and then remove it. So if you don't want those extra tangent lines, you can remove them. Another thing is that we are using the scale based off of the drawing here. So I can leave this drawing set to 1:1, or I can go change that up here in the file properties, right? Oh, nope, the wrong one, in the settings. Once this dialog box appears, you'll see that we do have a scale and things of that nature set up into here. Another thing while I'm in here is that I will show you how to adjust the dimensions and things of that nature, okay? So let's kind of go back for a second here. Okay, so we're going to need to change the scale of the sheet. We can always come to the sheet format here, or sorry, on the sheet, do a right click on here, and then we can go and find the properties, and then we can adjust the scale. So we can make this bigger or smaller depending on, you know, how much of it that you want to see. Let's see, if I make this a 0.75, you can see that this did get smaller. And let's go ahead and do that one more time. If I go back to the properties and I make this number like a 1.5, you're going to see that these will get bigger, right? So just depending on what you want to do. Now this is just going to adjust the scale of the overall one. You can also adjust the scales of these individually as well. So if I go to the first view I brought in, you should be able to have an option here of use the sheet scale, or I can customize this, right? So I can say, hey, the sheet is made to that, and then I can put it back down as a 1:1. But I usually like to leave my main view, whatever the size of it is here, so that way they know what they're getting based off of the sheet. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the dimension styles as well. Let's go ahead and move this down just a hair. The way we're going to set up the dimension styles is that we'll come up here to the top and we'll pick the file properties. And I keep hitting the wrong button up there. I do apologize. It's going to be the options. Giving it a second for the dialog box to appear. And then underneath the document properties is where I will select. And then I'll select the dimensions. And then inside of here, we can either tell it to show the trailing zeros or not show the trailing zeros. And you can see that that's here at the bottom. So in my dimensions, I can go to the trailing zeros and just tell them, hey, go ahead and remove those for me. And if it's in the tolerancing or things of that nature, or even in my properties, if I don't want to see all these extra zeros, I do have an option of turning that off. So just depending on what you want to see, that's kind of the way you can kind of format this. And you have other things that you can add in here. So I can tell it how many dimensions I want to show and other things of that nature. But I have the trailing zeros removed. So now when I go to put dimensions on this, I should get nice whole numbers, right? So I'll start off with a vertical dimension. I'll select here on this line, and then I'll go ahead and place that dimension. So now you do see that I am getting 35 on that one. Next, I'll go and create a horizontal dimension. I'll go from this line to this one. I'll go ahead and place this dimension. And this one is a reference dimension, so I'm just going to select here. Go ahead and accept that, and you're going to see now that I get the reference kind of designation around it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one now. And we can use smart dimensions as well. So if I go with a smart dimension, I can do this whole entire line. I'll click here. Then the next one I'll do is from here to here. Click and place that line. I'll just keep going. I'll do this side here. See if we can line that up together. Okay. Do this one to here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our top view here. Let's go ahead and add a dimension from here to here. And now I'm still in this smart dimension. I'll go ahead and do a line from here to here. Let's see if we can do a dimension from here to here. Once again, just throwing all of these dimensions on, and you can see how simple it is. This is the equivalent that if you're in AutoCAD is using the kind of little, I guess the dimension with the little star underneath it or the little sun underneath it. Then we have one more dimension to put on here, right? So we can kind of customize this dimension here because it does have two places underneath it. And I know it doesn't show it on the drawing there, but this is actually two places. All right, so I'm done with all of my dimensions. Let's go ahead and put the center marks in between here. So I'm just going to use the center line. Go ahead and select between those two lines there. Then between these two lines. And hit the check button here. I think this is everything that we need to complete this one. All right, so we're looking at the overall drawing. Relatively simple, straightforward. Let me know if you got any kind of questions, or maybe I missed something on this and now this is kind of bothering me as it's sticking to the outside here. I'm going to go ahead and make this view a little bit smaller as well. So once I have that selected, let's see. Looks like I may have closed what I needed. Oh, there it is. So I want to customize this. And let's see what a 1-to-1 looks like. Yeah, much better. Okay. All right, so that's everything that you're going to need to learn just in basic drafting on this one. There's other properties that you can do to fill in the title block and things of that nature. But for what we need to do is concentrate on it is making a simple model and then doing some drafting, basic drafting, just putting dimensions, center lines, and things of that nature on, right? So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And you can go ahead and take a look at me while I did this also in AutoCAD as well as in Inventor, so you can kind of compare all three of them, and I'll try to leave those in each of his respective playlists. So hopefully you can go and pay attention and look at those, and let me know if you got any comments or questions about it. So thank you for watching this, and as always, keep drafting, and I'll see you in the next video.